I feel a bit like Dennis Norden holding one of these. That's something that's probably going to go over the heads of a lot of our younger viewers. Hello and welcome to The Front Row, the brand new monthly show here on LeeJackSmith.com's YouTube channel, and for the very first time across our Facebook, Instagram and LinkedIn pages too. This show's designed to do one thing, basically tell you what's on in UK cinemas this month in as short of a time as possible, bringing you up to date with the latest in the world of big screen entertainment. Now, full credit, I'm not the one who came up with this idea. I've talked with some very smart people across various production companies and in a certain office in Preston, if you know, you know, about what's coming out in UK cinemas over the next 18 months. So what better way to communicate what's going to be on across various venues in the north of England than by bringing the LeeJackSmith.com sark that you all know and love to the fold. This is going to be a monthly thing. You'll see the best bits across our various social media platforms, and we're going to try and showcase as much of the world of cinema as we can in a very condensed runtime. So, without any further ado, let's have a look at what's on the big screen list July, shall we?
This island was the research facility for the original Jurassic Park.
We need DNA from the 3 biggest dinosaurs.
Do we have to get a sample from an egg?
Kicking things off on July 2nd is Jurassic World Rebirth. Now, say what you want about the Jurassic World franchise. It's had its ups, it's had its downs. But when you've got a cast led by Scarlett Johansson, you just have an inkling that it's going to do well at the UK and Ireland box office. It's a semi-reboot of sorts, from what I understand. Bearing in mind, I've not had a chance to read up on everything because I've been busy egg chasing for the last God knows how long. But they've been promoting it quite heavily around the various cinemas here in Preston, and understandably Universal have got a lot of hopes pinned with this film. We also think that we might get a trailer for Christopher Nolan's new film attached to Jurassic World, with it being a Universal release, so definitely one to keep your eyes peeled for. On July 11th, James Gunn takes the helm of DC's most iconic superhero with the long-awaited release of Superman on IMAX and premium large format screens. I have started to really get excited about this film now. I've seen a lot of trailers for it, I've seen a lot of promo for it, I've been running adverts all over the place. I really want this film to do well. DC have had a very patchy hit rate. You have a Suicide Squad that does well, and then a Black Adam that absolutely bombs, then a Shazam that does relatively okay, and then a Flash that's quite literally a flash in the pan. Warner have got a lot of hopes pinned on this film, and for the wider DC Studios ecosystem as it has become known since James Gunn took it over a couple of years ago, they've got a lot of hopes banked on this film to at least turn a decent profit at the box office and kickstart a new era for the studio that will be able to compete with the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the various different superhero franchises that have got big since Iron Man made it all cool in 2008. I don't know where it's going to go box office wise. I want it to do well, but on the other hand, I have my reservations about whether it will do well or not. I'm excited to see it just to see which end on the spectrum it's going to go down. It could really go either way. One film which is definitely going to go one way in my estimations is the brand new version of the Smurfs that's out on July 18th.
What the Smurf?
No! I think I just smurfed my pants.
Code Blue!
Oh boy, look, I'm not going to knock it too much. This is a very pro-cinema show. But kids' films like that, I just know I'm going to rant about them if I review them for the blog. It's going to do well with the family market. It's opening in time for the school holidays here in England. But just the quality of the animation and the fact that this is, I think, the 3rd time that they've done the Smurfs in cinema in this current modern iteration. This film's probably going to do well. It's going to open, it'll peak, and then it'll just tank. And that is... Look, I really, really want to see this film get an audience. But on the other hand, with my film critic head on, I want to see better movies than that. I really do. DreamWorks also bring out another new animation this July with the sequel to The Bad Guys. Now, Bad Guys was one of their more critically underregarded works. It just came out a couple of years ago, very quietly released, and became one of their biggest IPs. And since the initial Bad Guys came out in the midst of 2022 and coming out of COVID-19, DreamWorks has been through a lot of change. The Wild Robot was the last film that was made entirely on their campus, and then they've just been focusing primarily on existing IP like Shrek, like The Bad Guys, and not focusing on original content. And again, I don't know where this film's going to go. There have been issues getting a lot of the talent back. There's obviously the change in animation style, changes behind the scenes. It all reeks of studio interference. So again, opening in time for the summer holidays, so Smurfs and Bad Guys are probably going to be your two kids' films that are hanging around through July and August to cater for the family market. You've just got to look at what Dogman did back in February to see where DreamWorks are as a studio right now. Dogman went down really well here in Preston, talking to seniors at one of the venues here in town. They absolutely loved Dogman and what it did during the February half-term period. So we think here at leejacksmith.com that Bad Guys is probably on track to do the same, if not similar kinds of numbers to Dogman back in February. Now, for the fans of horror, there's plenty on the slate as well, because you've got Together, the new film from Alison Brie and Dave Franco, opening on July 30th, which looks like... I'm reluctant to show footage or stills from this one because it looks creepy as all hell. It's obviously something we're not going to really cover because we don't really cover the horror films for first takes or the main kind of reviews that we do. We're most well known for here at Lee Jack Smith Towers. But it looks properly freaky, and it's complemented very well because there's a new version of I Know What You Did Last Summer opening on July 18th as well. There is quite a lot for horror fans to get into. As I film this, Final Destination Bloodlines has been doing ridiculous business at the box office here in England. It's been performing above expectations. I didn't think it'd have upwards of 7 million lifetime this early on in the year, and it's kind of like reinvigorated the Final Destination franchise for a lot of people. But there is a lot for horror fans to sort of like really rip into, and going into the rest of the year as well. Like there is a lot to look forward to. However, here on Front Row, we're always going to put a lot of emphasis on the film I reckon is going to be the one that we're all talking about in July. And this month's inventively named Smit Hot Film of the Month. Well, it can only be Fantastic Four, can't it?
Are you the protectors of this world?
Yes, we are.
Your planet is now marked for death.
It's my fault. I stretched the bounds of space. And they hurt.
It's Marvel going back to the 1960s, going back to the original family that kind of kick-started the Marvel Comics movement. And based on what we've seen, they're still not revealing too much about the plot details. We know Sue Storm is carrying child in this one. Vanessa Kirby quite literally going full method, turning up to the first media event with a legit pregnancy bump. Fair play. But this film looks like it's going to do really well. It's a fantastic cast. Michael Giacchino's doing the score for it, and that's always gets extra brownie points from me just for what he calls the soundtrack, the various titles on the album. And there is a lot pinned on this movie, as it is kickstarting a brand new phase for the MCU as we slowly begin the build to Avengers Doomsday next Christmas. there have been a lot of rumours circulating. I've been trying to avoid the spoilers for as much as I can. Really glad I've done that, because I didn't have the twist in Thunderbolts spoiled, which was a good thing. But I really want to see Fantastic Four get back to the Marvel formula that works. They've been struggling with multiverse stuff for the last couple of years. I really want to see them get back to a formula that works. We know it's going to be 2 hours, 10 minutes. It's been confirmed now. I want to see the MCU get back to its glorious best, because when Marvel thrives, DC also put more into their films. Competition always seems to bring out the best in everyone. Now, here on Front Row as well, we don't just talk about the new releases. We also like to put a spotlight on the alternative programming that cinemas like to do, and the gods have blessed us with some old but gold kind of movies for July. There are two major reissues in select UK cinemas this month. The BFI are reissuing Human Traffic on July 16th.
The weekend has landed. All that exists now is clubs, pubs and parties. I'm going to Never Neverland with my chosen family, man.
I'm having the best time being off my pickle and feeling the music.
Now, Human Traffic has become a bit of a cult classic here in England. It's a heavy film dealing with coming-of-age, drug, nightclub cultures. It's a very of-its-time film from 1999 that went down in legend because of John Sim. Oh, and some guy called Danny Dyer. I wonder what he's doing these days. But it's become a film that's very much a sister piece to Danny Boyle's Trainspotting, which, of course, Mr. Boyle, he's got a film out right now. 28 years later, is likely still hanging around in cinemas this month. So there's a lot going for it. And for fans of Mr. Kubrick, Barry Lyndon is back on the big screen for the 50th anniversary on the 18th of July.
All clever young fellows who are free and able are hereby invited to step up.
While it didn't open to the reception Kubrick was hoping for back in 1975, it has become one of his more well-regarded films, and people have looked back on it and called it amongst the best films of the century. Village Voice saying it was their 46 in their top 250 films of the century back in 1999. And it's also Martin Scorsese's favourite Kubrick film. And you always have to believe the word of Mr. Scorsese, don't you? Even if he is making films that are about 25 minutes longer than Barry Lyndon was. 3 hour 5 movie, and yet here we are now where films are coming in at upwards of 4 hours if you do director's cuts. The industry's changed a lot since then, but it's also the Kubrick film that gave us Sarabande, which long-time fans of ejacksmith.com content will know as the music that we use to soundtrack the reviews that turn into full-on Earl Grey field rants. So that, in a nutshell, is everything that's out of interest in British cinemas this July. We will be back next month with a look into what's happening in August, every month thereafter. But let's build a little community in the comments. Let us know what you're looking forward to seeing on the big screen this July. And just for the rest of 2025 in general, this is a huge summer of cinema. There are new releases every single week. There are reissues every single week. There's even going to be a couple of live events beamed into the big screen churches that we all know too well over the next few months. This is going to be a fantastic couple of months to be a film nerd. I cannot wait to get stuck into it. And while you're here, if you're on the YouTube, hit the subscribe button below and hit the bell button to stay notified on when we upload next, because there is a lot of content in the works, not least including the brand new series of The Journal, our long-form deep dive series. Episode 1, all about the 2013 film Rush, should be with you, hopefully, as this series launches. Fingers crossed. We're filming a lot of these in one block, so hopefully future me gets on the edit. But until next month, I've been Jack from ejacksmith.com, and we'll see you at the movies.